And I'd like to introduce my grandma, my pap.
Grandpap.
And I would like to know. The first thing that Graham can remember. Come here, David. You want to sit here? What's the first thing Graham can remember?
Wow. Just had a bellyache.
The first thing I can remember is probably when my brother Bob was born. I remember waking up, being awakened like early in the morning, and there was all this commotion going on downstairs, and then this lady who used to be our housekeeper came up and said, "You get back in bed. They're busy downstairs, and you just had a baby brother." I think that's
How old were you?
well. Bob is I was about 4 years.
Wow. I don't think I can remember 4. I don't remember 4.
Let's see. Bob was born in 33, and I was born in 29, so 34.
How about you, Pap?
First thing
Well,
you
do I
can remember
remember?
is going to the vets.
How far back can I remember? I can remember way back. I can remember when I was first born, but I couldn't talk. I mean, what could I talk to?
You don't believe this, David? Come here for a second.
You remember when he's
What
okay?
could I say?
Why don't you just hard to
What-
point when you
Well, ask him the question you
Well-
always ask me. What year was that? And how
What
many?
year was
And
that?
how many years ago was it?
It seems to me like that was almost, oh my,
What is
75 years ago.
Okay, so what is the first thing you can remember?
First thing I can remember was.
I remember you telling me running outside to see an airplane go over. Maybe that wasn't the first thing you remember, but you remember that when an airplane went over, it was a big deal, and you went
Right.
running outside.
That's exactly right. But that's not the first thing I can remember because that was pretty well standard. There's lots of things. Way back then, I can remember so many things that are funny. Like we wanted to go fishing, we had to go and cut some bacon off that's hanging down underneath the porch to take with us and go camping. And we would sleep out overnight. But that was, of course, when we were like about maybe,
So the bacon was hanging in the porch. Did you have a refrigerator?
no.
They didn't have a refrigerator,
Of
David.
course.
No,
Can you imagine that?
There was no out there, no refrigerator. And I remember way back then going with my mother to pick mushrooms. She was taught me how to pick mushrooms.
Which ones?
Pinky.
For Pinky. See, I would have guessed that you would have learned that a lot later in life. I didn't think you were picking mushrooms back then.
No, pretty young because we were all there. All the kids had to be there because, if you went picking for pinkies, everybody had to be there. There's no babysitters back in those days.
And let me ask you a question. Did you like picking for Pinkies?
Oh yeah, it was really fun finding them.
Because I can remember picking strawberries up on a hill on the way to Evansburg. I used to hate that. Those little.
Oh my, they were so little.
I mean, if you didn't put a ton of sugar with it, you wouldn't even taste them. It's like I think it may be the strawberry flavor, but you were picking up Pinkies.
Yeah, I remember that real good. And I remember one of the best things I remember that I hated when they shot the pigs.
Oh man.
We had to slaughter the pigs, so we had to shoot them. I remember that. So the pigs used to had to bring them out of the thing, and anyhow, you had to make sure.
I mean, I remember that's in Babuki's house.
Yeah.
Where'd you keep a pig?
We had a big yard.
I mean, you had the train tracks in the back, and I remember the sheds on the side, but where were the pigs? By the sheds?
Yeah, we had pigs back there.
Like when his dad used to sit back
Yeah,
there.
well, I remember that's where the outhouse was, too. It was
That's
up-
right. Past the outhouse.
That's the outhouse.
In the shed, that's where the pigs were. Let's shoot them. Then we had to go bring the pig down, We would drag it down to the house, into the cellar. They would put hot bags and hot everything on it, and they'd scrape everything off, all the hide and everything off, and then we'd butcher the pig. I remember that pretty good. We did that a lot.
That's like a lot of work, right? It's not easy work, right? To get the hide off of a pig?
Well, you take the head off, we just take the hair off.
I know, because you have to like really scrape hard.
No, if you heated the water right, it was easy. If you heated the water right, the water was warm enough, just hair just fell off. And then what was left on there, then you would get paper, newspaper. You burn the newspaper and you hold it around the pig, you know, to burn off all the hair that you didn't get. So. And other than that, though, I guess our life was pretty much same as anybody else's at that time. You went to school, come home, went to school, had the coffee for breakfast. We come home, we had coffee soup for dinner because you had coffee with bread in it. And that was our...
That was it, huh? And glad to have it, right? Went to school, uphill both ways, right?
Well, no. We walked uphill, then we went past the that's it, back up again. But
So how'd you heat your house?
we had one stove right in the middle of the house.
How about you, Mom?
We had a stove in the kitchen and a stove in the room next to it, which was like the dining room.
And what'd you burn in it?
Coal and wood.
Coal.
Where'd you get the coal?
Mostly in the bony dump right there.
Yeah, right. We lived right close to the mine, so you just went down and picked the coal.
So you had like a bucket and you walked along the train track and picked up coal that fell off?
No,
Uh,
they would dump it. They would dump the bony, but there'd be a lot of coal in with the bony.
uh-huh.
So you would go down and pick through the coal, the bony, coal,
So you know the difference between good coal and bone.
bony. Sure.
And was everybody in town doing that?
Oh yeah, everybody did that.
Let's go up, all the kids used to go up the bony dump. The truck would come up and dump the bony over the hill. And all the kids were down there below, just going up that hill, just like picking up all the coal, picking all the coal off that. And they would bring it up. You wind up with a bucket full, put it in your bag. Then you go back down again. The next truck would come up and dump the bony. Everybody picked the coal, go right up the bony pile again. And that's why I'd come home. Me and my brother Joe would come home with 5, at least 50-pound sacks of coal every day.
Hmm.
We stocked that in the
He
shed.
even had like a little cart.
Yeah. No, the hunky
that you
wagon.
made- Hunky, there you go.
A hunky wagon.
Hunky wagon that you put your bags of coal on and then pull them.
Hunky wagon was kind of unique because
Yeah,
the front wheels could be extended because the back wheels, kind of a bar come out and run through the middle of the front wheels. So the more you want to go, you can just pull the front wheel out further and put a pin through the bar that went from the back. And so, really out there was a hunky wagon. That was a good wagon, I'll tell you. Everybody didn't want that.
But you made them yourself.
You made them
You didn't
yourself.
buy them. You didn't buy them
Well,
from
no,
the store or
you can't
anything.
buy them, no way.
You just made it yourself.
So when you slaughtered the pigs and you smoked them,
Yeah. Oh yeah, we smoked some of it. And,
you had your own smokehouse.
yeah.
Make
Oh,
sausage.
Oh, well, we used to be in trouble there. Because we had the smokehouse in the backyard, and the fire was always lower. And you put that fire in that, and you go make a fire too hot is no good.
Right.
Let's have a
Just
smoky
cook it.
fire.
Right.
So the fire would go through that pipe up to the smokehouse. And boy, me and my brother Joe used to get in lots of trouble because we didn't watch the fire good enough. The fire got too hot, we were in trouble.
And what kind of wood were you using to smoke it?
Apple.
Apple.
We used-
So I don't suppose there were if everybody was doing that, I don't suppose there were too many stray apple trees around. Or you knew where the apple trees were at least.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
didn't
not
chop it down though, you just took branches
branches
down.
of it. You know, you had to cut the branches off and everything off the tree. You know, and you put them on a fire. You know, that was the worst part because you had to watch the fire so it didn't get too heavy. You know, too heavy, there was no smoke.
Well, how long did this last?
Couple of days.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, he smoked the thing. It'd be at least 2 or 3 days. We hated it.
We never had smokehouse. We always just butchered the pig, and then you had well, mostly made salami out of all of it.
Uh-huh.
And then you had the salami hanging in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
And every time you went to salami, you down and got it. It'd be all green with mold. And we also always had cheese. We had a cow or two. And you'd go out and milk the cows in the morning, and then you'd save the cream from it. And then you'd make cheese. My mother used to have you'd have grape, the boxes that grapes come in, you know how pliable they are, oranges.
Yeah.
And she'd get one of those and make it into a round thing like that, put cord around it, and then just set it on the table and dump this cream that I think she boiled it, and I think she put rennet tablets in it or something. I don't know how she made that cheese, but it was really good cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we had them that big down in the basement to that big.
Hmm.
And those too used to get all moldy and black, but and we lived in front of the mine, so you always had that dirt from the mine, from the tipple and stuff. But we always ate good because we always had cheese and salami, and we had peach trees and plum trees, and green gage plums. So we always
Uh-huh.
canned a lot of that. So for dinner every day of your life, you had a piece of cheese or a piece of salami, a slice of bread, and peaches or pears. So you're really eating pretty good.
So when's the best time to eat a groundhog, Dad?
Spring or
Spring or fall?
When it's fully cooked.
Because I remember Babuki telling a story about during the Depression you couldn't get any meat, but you and your brother and other people would go out and you'd shoot a groundhog or trap a groundhog or something, and there were some girls over.
Yeah,
And
that's
cheese-
what
South Fork.
Yeah, she'd cook some groundhogs, and when your sisters brought some girls over to the house, they were saying, you know, Mrs. Govers or Classic maybe that's Mrs. Govers, I guess. You know,
We call her Tata.
Tessa, where did you get the meat? And she said a farmer came through. I bought him the meat. I know. The farmer came through. He said, I bought the meat, and it was groundhog they were eating. And but she thought it was no. She said there were ducks. I bought some ducks,
yeah.
right?
Love that.
And was it Joe Schneider? Somebody named
Yeah.
Schneider
Yeah,
Yeah,
came in
South Fork.
and saw they were eating and he reached in the bag and he pulls out this groundhog by the leg. You know what you're eating? This is what you're eating.
Well, that didn't happen that way.
That's what Babuki told me.
Actually, the people from South Fork used to come to our house every Sunday. It was during the war. And meat was rationed. You had no meat. Okay? So my brother Joe and I would go out and get groundhogs. You know, and every Sunday my mom would bake groundhogs. She had a special way of doing it. She had a round pan and it was elevated. And she'd cook them in an oven so that all the fat would come off it. And they would be golden brown looking like the best thing you ever wanted to see in your life. Then she'd dump all the fat out, you know. And then what she'd do, she'd take these and put them in a frying pan, and do whatever she had to do with it, I don't know. And then when they would come over and eat, then she'd put that on the table. And everybody thought they were eating ducks and geese and that, and they really thought that was the best in the whole darn world. Till one day, Brother Joe and I come home. It was on a Sunday. Back in those days, we weren't allowed to get groundhogs on Sunday. So we always carried the groundhog. We put a stick between the two back legs. and then we'd drape branches over them like a Y in the tree. And then he'd be carrying one, I'd be carrying one, but all I can see is branches. So anyhow, we come up. They were at that time. They were just leaving this one day, and Mom said to them, "Here comes the boys again." She says, "They're bringing in more ducks." So the girls, they said, "Oh my, well, let's see them." And we took off the the branches. There was 2 groundhogs that are just recently gutted. And these girls, when they saw that, especially that, whoa, such a scream. That was the end of the groundhogs. They never come back.
Well, that sounds pretty good. I don't know.
The mom used to make real good groundhogs. Real good groundhogs. It was, no matter how old they were, how fat they were, she could cook them.
We couldn't get that groundhog. I know. I'm okay. I'm still allowed to do this. I am.
It's not supposed to be bent at the right angle, and I'm just afraid you'll forget
No, I'm
and
good.
stand up.
Hey, you want to show it on the camera? See my foot?
It's all right.
I got a broken Achilles tendon.
It's comfortable.
Let's see. So, how many brothers and sisters, and what are their names, and where are they now?
My brothers and sisters, the oldest one is Reno, and he's deceased. He died when he was 74, I think. And then Virgil,
And
he lived in Barnesboro.
Barnesboro.
And then Virgil,
And his wife was
his wife was Clara.
Clara.
Clara's 89 right now. And Virgil, he died when he was about 74 also. He lived in Barnesboro. And then there's
Well,
Louis.
which one lived in Spangler?
Well, yeah, I guess he did live in Spangler, but it's so close to Barnesboro, you always said Barnesboro, but it was Spangler. And his wife died just a couple of years ago. And then there was Louis, who lives in Baltimore, and Virginia, who lives in Norfolk, and Mary, who lives in Patton, and myself, and my brother Bob, who lives in Belsano.
Belsana.
Mm-hmm.
I figured he was still down in Bedford.
He lives in Belsano.
Oh,
He
you
lived
dad?
up there, oh my, 10 years more maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you did.
Yeah.
You probably can't remember.
Yes, you knew all the family, so
It's
not much to say. It's just
it's
we're all
the
getting old.
Okay, Dad. The oldest one was George, and he died a while back, good while back. And then
I
the
remember.
next-
I remember George because he had a house right on
Church Street.
on Church Street, and he used to go fishing with us. He was also the steward at the fire club.
Yeah.
I can remember if you had a good day and you went in there like middle of the afternoon and he's just getting ready, and he'd always get you a bottle of Orange Crush or something. If he had a good day, he'd take the straw and start it off for you, he'd rip off the end and blow the straw. He only did that for family, of course. And put it down, but we got to sit on the bar stools and spin around. That was a big deal. And we went fishing with George up camp.
Yeah.
Were you there when he fell off the bridge?
I don't know that I was. I mean, where he was on the dock and the boat at the same time.
Yeah.
I remember when he almost did the same thing. The one time he did that, he took tank in, right?
I can't remember
Full
who was there.
tank,
One of
yeah,
us.
wasn't
Then we come in and it got too dark. And I didn't want to drive back down to camp in the middle of the night. So I drove to shore and let George and I think the youngster,
Tank, I think.
I just pulled in this guy's dock right there, let him off, and then they could walk down. And so when we pulled into the dock, meantime we had about 5 catfish on the thing. He wanted those catfish because he wanted to bring them back. You know,
Show him off.
show them off. So we got out of the boat. Well, he stepped on the dock and he stepped on the boat. Well, you know what happens. The boat goes away. And he went went that way. Straight down.
I remember,
Then he grabbed. Then he went in. He grabbed
Francis and
Francis
William.
and whoever was there. He went in too.
I remember. Then I think like a couple of years later, we're up there. It's the same sort of thing. He stepped in, the boat started to go, and rather than falling in this time, he leaned towards the boat, and boom, in the bottom of the boat, and you said, "Did you fall in the boat, George?" "You're damn right I did," was the answer. The other George story I remember was we were up there working on the, speak, I'm probably picking it. We were working on the remodeling, one of the first remodels of the camp, I think, the one that I can remember. And well, the first thing was, when it came time to put the screws in the front door, and you gave him a screwdriver to screw them in. And he gets a hammer and he starts whacking, pounding them in. And you're like, "George, aren't you gonna screw those in?" "Oh, no. Screws are meant to be pounded in, screwed out. That door for the next 20 years, because it was down on the floor. And that was all because George pounded the screws in rather than screwed them in. And then also during that trip, I don't know, George had a little difficulty waking up in the morning. His sinuses.
Black lung is what he had.
Did he have black lung?
Oh yeah, that was black lung.
And in the morning when he woke up, Tank, me, and Ren were sitting over in front of Walt's place having our bowl of cereal. And we're sitting there eating, and George gets up, and he's coughing and farting and snorting and blowing his nose. And it got so bad that you left, and you came over, and you said, "Boy, George, he's something else in the morning." And right before you got there, Tank and Ren look over at me because they're trying to eat their cereal through this. And he just sort of looked at Tank to take the cereal and dumps it over the hill. He couldn't eat it anymore with all the noise. I mean,
Well, he used to have black lung. He'd cough. And that was bad because myself, now I had black lung. And I'm very conscious of the fact that in the morning I have to really, you know.
yeah. He didn't hold back. So George, I didn't know George was the oldest though.
Yeah, George was the oldest.
And George Classic.
Yeah, George Classic was the oldest, and then the next was Helen. Helen's now about 89. And then there was Jay. No, Jay must have been the next because Jay's older. Jay's 90-something. Jay must, yeah, that's what it's right. Jay comes after George, and then Helen, and then Francis.
I imagine Francis would be next. Is that friend
It
Bud?
seems like we're forgetting one. Francis, and then Bud, and then Stella, Frank.
No, when you come to Stella, you know,
Stella's a Gobers.
the Gobers, you know, those first kids, their father was killed in a coal mine.
Mm-hmm.
All the Classic, you know, their father was killed in a coal mine.
What mine was that?
The Barnes is down Bakerton.
And like from your house, where was it? Is it just right across the building, dumping up the hill?
That's all, just right down the road from the house. When anybody ever got killed or hurt in the coal mine, they would blow a siren. And you knew there was an accident in the mine. Then everybody would go running down there to find out who got hurt or who got killed or whatever. That's exactly the way they would do it.
So who was then the book you remarried?
Yeah.
And
Well, actually, when she
Michael,
come to this
right?
country, yeah. When she come to this country, she's only 13, I think, what, right?
Pretty young.
13 or
She
16?
was married when she was
No,
50.
13. She was married when she was 15. So she's married to their father, I mean, Classic first, then she's married to our father later on. So it's
Then there was Stella, then Frank, then Joe, then Adele. Seems to me like, I guess that's right.
Bud.
Oh, see, Bud is next to
George.
Francis.
Oh, France.
There's Francis, Bud, then Francis.
I have a sneaking suspicion it's not picking up half the conversation. What do you think?
I think it is.
Think so? Okay.
Fine. I'll be back to sing on Monday, anything? Something to sip on?
Nope. You want anything?
No.
Is it still running?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just want to get the thing to plug it in. So anyway, you were talking that Babuki came over from where and when, if you have any clue.
Well, she come over from Lithuania,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad, he come over from Russia. He had at that time, Russia was in control of the part of what they call Kiev, and so he had to get into the Russian army. But he fought in the Russian-Japanese war. He got bayoneted right through the throat and lived. And then after that, when he come back, they were going to have another war or something, and they were going to sign up another draft. So what he did, he run for this country,
Mm-hmm.
which, like most other people did at that time, they would just take off and come to this country. So he come over, and a big part of the people in Russia at that time come over.
Did you know anything about coal mining before you got here?
I don't know. I couldn't answer that.
I mean, the question is, how do you end up here? I mean, why not New York? Why not?
Mostly because I would say ignorance. Didn't know nothing. Come from over there just from a farm type thing,
Mm-hmm.
And other than that,
Had
What-
friends here?
huh?
Did he have friends here to know to
Well,
come to?
Maybe they just knew that if you came here, you could get work.
Right,
So they're looking for people to work in the mines.
right. That's exactly why he come. He never come over here for any special reason with friends or anything. My mother's brother, Barney, he come to this country. He settled here. He was no brain either. He was just, a regular common person. But he worked on the coal mines. Anybody can work on the coal mines with just common labor. So, well, make a long story short, we had a turn it off.
I'm going to.
You just came out. You don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Long story. Oh, coming over to America.
Yeah.
He was looking for. Long story short was he came over here and he got a job.
Do you know what year he came over?
I don't know.
No idea what year your mother came over.
Nope. No idea.
She said she came from Lithuania, someplace where two rivers come together.
Right. I don't know where those are.
I looked at a map of Lithuania. There aren't two rivers in Lithuania. So
Yeah,
probably
right.
two streams, but to a 13-year-old girl,
Yeah.
thought it was big.
Well, what year were you born? I don't know that we captured that.
In 1927. And you were born in when?
1929.
Oh, the stock market crash. They knew you were coming.
And to this day, we're still riding that chocolate.
So, where'd you go to school?
You going first?
You go, Mom.
Well, I went to school down at Bakerton. It was just an 8-room schoolhouse, and there was only about maybe 12 people in each grade, and you stayed in that room. You had a teacher, and you stayed in that room all day, and she taught you everything. Reading, writing, arithmetic, everything. You just stayed in that room all day. And then, so anyway, I was there.
Any of those people still around?
No, none of those people are still around. But anyway, I went to the 7th grade, and when I was in the 7th grade, No, that's wrong. I went for the 6th grade. When I went into the 7th grade, they put me in the 8th grade because I was a little brighter maybe than the other kids, but I think they really just wanted to even it out. Like if they had 10 kids in the class and there was only 9, to put somebody over there make it 10. So anyway, I skipped the 7th grade and never did catch up. Just never did. On to high school and had a tough time always after that. And then whenever I got through high school, I was looking for a job and couldn't find one. So I thought, what the heck, I'll go up to the hospital and maybe just go in training. So that's what I did. I just walked up to the hospital and told them I wanted to become a nurse, and they said, okay, go back and see this lady. And she said, okay, the new class starts in 2 weeks. And
That was it.
yeah, that was it. You have to pay $100 the first year, $100 the second year, and $75 the third year. So anyway, I signed up, and I don't know where I got that $100 from somebody.
Mugged someone.
Yeah, but I think you had the whole year to pay for it. And, so then I went in training, and there was about maybe 14 in our class, but by the end of the year there was 7. And actually 7 graduated.
I forgot. Going back. Dad, you said your dad was from Russia, your mom was from Lithuania. But you didn't say what their names were.
Well, Martha Gobris and Michael Gobris.
Well, she wasn't Gober, she was Linsky.
What was it?
Oh, I mean her maiden name.
Yeah,
Oh, she was a Molesky.
Molesky.
Molesky. Molesky and Gobers.
Gobrish.
Gobrish.
No, Goberlovich.
Goberlovich or Goberlovichus?
That's what they would say. Back in those days, when you were talking about the Gobrises, you would say Goberlovichus. In other words, that family of the Gobrises would be Goberlovichus.
Oh, I see. That family of Goberses.
Yeah,
But the actual name would be
Gobris.
Gobers. You say Gobrish.
Yes, there was always an H on it.
Back in them days, when people come over, they didn't understand English. They give them a name, I would say.
Yeah, right.
They didn't know what their names were.
Right.
They'd say Gobris, so they just wrote the name out. The first name we had was Gobrish. After a while, we wound up with Gobris, Gobris. So Gobrish.
But a lot of people still say Gobrish.
I mean, but they all have a lisp. But that's good to know. If anybody ever wants to track it back, you would be looking for Gobris, and you roll out the Gobrishes, and it might well be a Gobrish. But what about you, Mom? Maiden names and such.
Maiden name, my mother's name was Maria DeBenny.
The Benny.
And father's name was Caesar.
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 Franciscini. And it was always the same. And it was,
Caesar Franceschini, not
Yeah.
Franceschini.
well, say it anyway, C-H-I-N-I. We always say Franciscini. But his name was, everybody called him Cesare, which is Caesar in Italian.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Do you know what part of Italy they were from?
yeah, my mother, I think around Milan, both of them. I'm not sure though.
That's north, isn't it?
Yeah, it was north. But I don't know for sure.
You know where your dad was from in Russia?
No, I know he was Kiev. That's all I know, and that was like he never spoke Russian. He always spoke Lithuanian.
And she was from.
Kiev.
She
She
was.
was from.
I couldn't tell you where she was from.
I seem to recall. It's the capital of Lithuania. What is the capital of Lithuania? Vilnius. Is it Vilnius?
Vilnius. Yep.
Yeah.
They met here in Bakerton.
Yes.
What's the South Fork connection? Because they used to live in South Fork, right?
Yeah, her brother. Her brother was in South Fork, and actually when she come to this country, she stopped to see her brother in South Fork.
Which is right outside of Johnstown.
Right. Yeah. There was a big mine at that time in South Fork, and a lot of people, employed there. So it's that's where she comes. Then after that, everybody moved to Bakerton because this
Could
was,
you come with me, Mom?
this was the up and coming type country now. Now you more mines, coming up around here than what there were there.
Up here.
And rumor has it that Charles Bronson was also from
South Fork.
South Fork.
There's no rumor to it. It's true. Charles Bronson is from South Fork. He's also a distant relative through the Blinsky side of the family, not through the Grover side. The Blinsky side, because Grover's and Blinsky's, I don't know, whatever it is, second
Molesky.
cousins.
Molesky son.
Anyhow, second cousins or whatever they are. And anyhow, that's why he was a distant relative.
Uh-huh. So anyway, we left you at nursing school, Mom.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to nursing school?
It's Miners Hospital.
I thought you went to Pittsburgh.
Miners Hospital, but you had to go affiliate with these other hospitals. Like for psychiatry, we had to go to the Philadelphia State Hospital. So you're there for 3 months. And you just, learn about the psychiatric patients or whatever, and then you had to go to Pittsburgh for 3 months to Children's Hospital to learn about the children.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of the time we were minors.
So when you, well, I'm jumping around a lot. I can remember trying to catch rabbits in the backyard with a snare.
Oh yeah.
Was that really possible? Because I never caught one. I remember it come a day later and try to get that snare to work, and the limb would be bent over, frozen solid, and there wouldn't be any spring left in it.
Oh yeah, I got rabbits on the snare. So not that many. But I was growing up, it was just a hobby more or less. And we loved rabbit. Everybody liked rabbit. So it was nice. When we were really young, you actually get older, you go to school and that, and you don't have the time to do that. But then after that,
But you obviously spent a lot of time out in the woods.
oh yeah, what else to do? You go in the woods.
And you actually had a .22 rifle?
No, not for a long. It had to be, I think we were about 18 years old before you got a .22 rifle.
Well, when you got the groundhogs, how'd you get those?
We dig them out with a stick.
Then
What?
And then hit them or what?
Yeah. We wouldn't kill them. We didn't have no gun.
Really?
Well, what?
Yeah,
When
sure.
you were eating the groundhogs, how'd you get the groundhogs?
We dug them out.
And then what?
The dog would bark at the hole. You'd go up there and see the hole. So I always had a hatchet on my belt. I would take the hatchet and cut a tree down, a small tree. I put a point on it and start digging. We'd dig those groundhogs out. When you come into the where the groundhog was, finally you would see where he's at there, and he'd have his head sticking out of the hole. You'd plunk him on the head. And that was it.
Oh,
I had no idea. I thought you were shooting them.
No way. We never shot him. We didn't have no gun.
A gun, pure luxury. I had to use a stick with a point on it. That's good.
That's
Okay,
true.
so you finally got a gun around 18 or so.
Yeah. At 18, then we start hunting rabbits because then we could buy a scatter shot, and we had a dog. The same dog used to chase rabbits. Groundhogs. And if a rabbit would run out, the dog would take off after so fast, the rabbit would duck and come back. And we were waiting, bing,
Hmm.
let's get rabbits. That's exactly where we used to get them rabbits.
Huh. So then the war broke out.
Yep.
How old were you?
Well, I was 18. I went to New York to get a job with my sister Stella, which I did. I worked in Press Wireless.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, and I had
How long were you there?
about 6 months or so. I actually saw the first pictures of the atomic bomb before President Truman saw them.
Huh.
Because it's true. Press Wireless had a teletype set up with all over the whole world. You know, you could talk to Russia, you could talk to anybody through these. You know, and my job was to go around there, take these messages off, and send them to wherever they wanted to go. You want to go to Reuters, you had to send it to Reuters. You want to go to USS, you had to send them. You know, so there was a fellow there working that was in the service, and he was shot and he was disabled, and he used to get all the transatlantic messages, the ones for the Navy, because all they did, they come in code. Where on Reuters or with these other ones, these tapes, they come in like a message. You can read it. But when he got his message, they would come in 5-letter groups, like it'd be A, Z, P, ping, you know. And then the next line would be 67200, and that's the way they come in because we're in code. I got to know that guy pretty good, and one day he said to me, "I'm going to show you something." And he took me down and he said, "See this?" He said, "Tomorrow morning," he said, the president's going to see this." I actually seen the atomic bomb that they exploded in Nevada,
Uh-huh.
and they showed me the picture of that. You know.
Huh.
I stayed there, and after that I went to the Army.
So how old were you when you went to the Army?
About 18.
You get drafted? You enlist?
Yeah, drafted. Everybody drafted.
Uh-huh.
Back in that time, you all had drafted. So when I got in the Army, the war was over. And we were what's called Army of the Occupation. So the first place we went to Okinawa. And Okinawa was just an island, but we were only there for a very short time. And actually there was still fighting going on in Okinawa, but very slightly. Then after that we